The Philippines has made its boldest strategic pivot in decades, signaling a new era in its foreign and defense policy. By expanding the U.S. military presence on its soil to levels unseen since the Cold War, Manila is reshaping the regional security landscape. This move, formalized in 2024 and 2025, sends a direct and unmistakable message to Beijing. Manila will not yield to Chinese coercion in the South China Sea and is prepared to defend its interests. Backed by its oldest ally, the Philippines is determined to defend its sovereign rights, drawing a clear line in the sand. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or ADCA, now enables U.S. forces rotational access to key Philippine military facilities, allowing for rapid response, joint training, and greater interoperability between the two militaries. This integrated approach is designed to deter aggression by making any attack on the Philippines costly for adversaries, and to reassure the Filipino people of their nation's security. Years of Chinese grey zone tactics, militarized islands, harassment of fishermen, and resupply missions have pushed Manila to act decisively, refusing to be intimidated. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s administration concluded that diplomacy alone is no longer enough to safeguard national interests. The strengthened U.S. alliance is a necessary response to a persistent threat to the nation's maritime resources and territorial integrity, ensuring continued access to vital waters. The Philippines once tried to balance ties with both the US and China, but China's actions shattered that illusion and forced a strategic recalibration. Embracing a robust American military presence is a clear acknowledgement that neutrality is no longer viable in the face of mounting pressure. Manila is betting that a stronger alliance will deter conflict, secure Philippine sovereignty, and help shape a more stable future for the region. China's relentless campaign of coercion and intimidation in the South China Sea has dramatically escalated tensions in the region. This aggressive posture is the main driver behind the Philippines' deepening military partnership with the United States, as Manila seeks to strengthen its defenses. Filipino fishermen and naval crews face daily intimidation from Chinese vessels, which swarm contested areas to exhaust Philippine resolve and assert Beijing's claims. The Philippines' military, long focused on internal security and counterinsurgency, is outmatched by China's modern and much larger navy. The U.S. alliance offers access to advanced hardware, joint training, and real-time intelligence, crucial elements for building credible deterrence and boosting morale. Despite a landmark 2016 Hague Tribunal ruling in Manila's favor, China continues to ignore international law, leaving the Philippines with few realistic options for recourse. A legal victory without enforcement is hollow, compelling Manila to seek a partner willing to help uphold the rules-based order and defend its sovereignty. President Marcos Jr. has decisively shifted away from his predecessor's failed outreach to Beijing, now prioritizing national security and regional stability. The turn toward Washington is a pragmatic response to an urgent and growing need for protection and support. Defending the nation's interests now requires a powerful, committed ally, one that stands ready to help secure the Philippines' future in a turbulent region. Geography is key to the US-Philippine alliance's effectiveness. New and upgraded bases form a strategic arc along the nation's western and northern frontiers, close to potential flashpoints. Under EDCA, the U.S. gains rotational access to enhance Philippine facilities, creating a network that acts as a tripwire for U.S. involvement. Balabac Island, Subic Bay, and Oyster Bay are the cornerstones. Balabac monitors southern approaches, Subic serves as a logistics hub, and Oyster Bay is the staging point for West Philippine Sea patrols. Their proximity to the Spratly Islands and other contested features allows for rapid response and persistent surveillance. Bases in northern Luzon also have implications for Taiwan, making the Philippines a linchpin for regional security. This dual-use potential elevates the archipelago's strategic value. The Philippines is now a frontline state and a regional stabilizer. Balabac Island at Palawan's southern tip is now a critical outpost in the Philippines' defense. Overlooking the Balabac Strait, it monitors vital sea lanes and activities in the southern Spratlys. US-funded upgrades have transformed Balabac into a frontline base with extended runways, new barracks and improved port facilities. Its proximity, just 140 nautical miles from China's militarized Mischief Reef, enables persistent surveillance and rapid response. Pre-positioned supplies and enhanced infrastructure allow sustained operations in contested waters. The island's fortification is a direct response to increased Chinese vessel activity and underscores its strategic importance. Balabac is now a resilient forward base, deterring aggression and protecting a key maritime choke point. It symbolizes Philippine resolve and sovereignty. The southern frontier is no longer unguarded, but a well-defended gateway. Subic Bay's revival marks a historic return for the US-Philippine alliance. Once the largest US naval base overseas, Subic's deepwater port is again a key logistics and repair hub. President Marcos Jr.'s move to convert Chiquita and Grande Islands into naval stations leverages Subic's natural advantages for modern defense. The bay's location offers secure access to the South China Sea, ideal for maintenance and resupply. Recent security incidents, including espionage concerns, prompted tighter control and military conversion of the islands. Subic now provides the logistical backbone for sustained operations, signaling long-term commitment to regional security. Oyster Bay on Palawan's coast is the Philippines' main staging point for missions in the West Philippine Sea. It supports critical patrols and resupply runs to outposts like the BRP Sierra Madre at 2nd Thomas Shoal. US investment has enhanced Oyster Bay's capabilities, including a new boat repair facility that keeps more ships operational. The base now hosts advanced US-provided patrol ships and unmanned surface vessels, expanding surveillance and presence. These assets allow the Philippines to monitor Chinese activity without risking manned platforms. Oyster Bay is the nerve center for joint US-Philippine operations, with Task Force Ayungin training Filipino crews. The base embodies the alliance in action: forward defense, rapid response, and daily resolve. It is the launch pad for defiance and the front line of Philippine sovereignty. Oyster Bay's readiness is a national priority. The fortification of Philippine bases is a direct response to escalating Chinese aggression at sea. In 2023 and 2024, confrontations between Chinese and Philippine vessels became routine and increasingly violent. Chinese ships have used water cannons, ramming, and even boarding to block Philippine resupply missions to 2nd Thomas Shoal. These actions violate international law and have caused injuries to Filipino personnel. The June 2024 incident, where a Philippine Navy SEAL was severely injured, marked a dangerous escalation. Rather than intimidating Manila, these tactics have only strengthened Philippine resolve. The relentless harassment has made a robust US-backed defense posture essential for survival. The US-Philippine alliance is delivering more than access to bases. It's modernizing the Philippine military. The US has transferred advanced patrol ships and unmanned surface vessels, boosting surveillance and deterrence in the West Philippine Sea. These assets, combined with intelligence sharing, give the Philippines a clearer maritime picture and faster response capability. The Philippines is also acquiring new frigates, corvettes, and missile systems from international partners, shifting focus to external defense. The goal: a layered defense with early warning, persistent patrols, and credible firepower. US support extends to training, with Task Force Ayungin providing hands-on guidance for complex maritime operations. Large-scale joint exercises like Balikatan enhance interoperability and readiness. The modernization effort is transforming the AFP into a more capable, confident force. The alliance ensures new hardware is effectively integrated and operated. Together, these steps create a formidable deterrent against aggression. The US buildup in the Philippines walks a fine line between deterrence and provocation, sparking debate across the region and raising questions about the long-term consequences for regional stability. Supporters argue that only strength can deter further Chinese encroachment and uphold international law, insisting that a visible military presence is necessary to reassure allies and partners. The enhanced US presence aims to prevent conflict by raising the cost of aggression, signaling to potential adversaries that any hostile move will be met with a coordinated response. Multilateral cooperation with Japan and Australia frames the build-up as a collective defense of the rules-based order, emphasizing unity among democracies in the face of growing challenges. Critics warn that encircling China with bases could provoke a more aggressive response, fueling an arms race and instability and potentially drawing the region into a dangerous cycle of mistrust. They draw parallels to NATO's expansion and the Ukraine conflict, suggesting a similar risk of escalation if diplomatic solutions are sidelined in favor of military posturing. From Beijing's perspective, US forces near its shores and Taiwan may be seen as an existential threat, intensifying nationalist sentiment and hardening China's resolve. The region could be locked into an escalatory spiral, making conflict more likely as misunderstandings and miscalculations increase. The Philippines' gamble is that deterrence will prevail over provocation, hoping that a strong stance will secure peace rather than invite confrontation. The outcome will shape the future of the Indo-Pacific, determining whether the region moves towards stability and cooperation or faces a new era of tension and rivalry.